If you've ever seen the really neat effects where time is zooming by at a really high rate of speed in a video, sometimes this is referred to as time lapse and sometimes time warp. And it's kind of a cool effect if you want to show like time passing really fast. You could go into the settings in the editing process and tweak and move things around and get this effect. But what's neat is that the GoPro, which mine is the GoPro Hero 12, has this built in automatically and it's fairly easy to use. But the question is, since the effects are very similar between time lapse and time warp, when would I use one versus the other? And so I'm going to just turn this on and scroll through the menu so that you can see how to get to each of these settings and when you would want to use time lapse versus time warp. Let's take a look. So on the GoPro, there's a couple of settings. I'm going to turn this on. A couple of settings. One of them is time lapse and the other one is time warp. And it sometimes is a little bit tricky to figure out which one is which, but there is a distinct difference and there's a different time when you would use one versus the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe this way, and you see it said time lapse, but it bounces back. Well, don't worry about that because all we have to do right there where it says time warp is tap it, and then we can scroll down to the different high speed or low speed settings that you want to use for your video, and we can select time lapse, for example. So the answer to the question, which one should I use, depends on whether or not your camera is going to be stationary or it's going to be moving. When you want to take a video, for example, of, say, traffic whizzing by, and you set your tripod up in the street or to the side of the street, and then you put it on time lapse, then you can get that effect. Time lapse is to be used when you are going to mount your GoPro to the tripod or set it down, and it's going to be stationary. It's not going to move, but everything around it will move. So I can do a traffic scene, as I mentioned. I can do clouds going by at a high speed. I can do different things where the camera is still and things are moving past me or in front of me. Now, conversely, the other setting, time warp, we'll go back up and we'll hit time warp. Time warp has a stabilizing effect so that you can move the camera through a scene. When would I want to use time warp? Say I'm walking on a trail in the woods, or say I'm walking on a sidewalk or walking down a city street. The camera would be moving in that instance past everything around it. So if I want to do, for example, to set my GoPro up on the dashboard while I'm driving and traffic is coming by, then time warp would be the one that I would want to choose because the camera is moving through the scene rather than like before where we had it mounted and stationary and then the scene was moving past the camera. So a good way to think about it is if the camera is going to be completely still, you want to use time lapse. If the camera is going to be moving through the scene, you would like to use time warp. So this is a good way to make a distinction between the two, and that's how you use those, and the results can be pretty cool. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.